Hey everyone, this is Pete, and welcome back to Atari A to Z Flashback, a series of explorations of the 150 games that make up Atari Flashback Classics for Nintendo Switch. Today's game is Maze Craze. This was a 1980 release for Atari 2600, developed by Rich Mauer, who was also responsible for the Atari 2600's killer app, which was its excellent version of Space Invaders. Now, Maze Craze was inspired by a cartridge for the Fairchild Channel F console that was simply called Maze. The game was designed as a competitive two-player game, but most of its modes can be enjoyed solo, so that's what we're going to be doing today. Alright, let's go play Maze Craze.
Okay, here we are once again with Atari Flashback Classics, and today we're taking a look at Maze Craze, a game of cops and robbers. Let's check out the manual. Lovely bit of artwork on the front there with some delightfully 70s moustaches. Good stuff. Old Atari manuals are great for that. Alright, use your joystick controllers with this Atari registered trademark game program TM. Blah 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 blah. Each player controls a blue or a red cop. Your cop's beat is a maze of city blocks, and you must move the cop from the left side of the maze to the exit on the right, as shown in the diagram. Maze Craze may be played by one player depending on the game number you're playing. See game variations in the game matrix to determine whether anything has to happen to a second player in order for you to exit the maze and end the game. Yeah, so this is designed as a two-player competitive game, but there are some modes where the second player doesn't really matter. It's just both players trying to do things at the same time. And so you can just sort of challenge yourself to get through the maze and that sort of thing. So that's what we're going to do today, just for simplicity's sake. To move your cop, push the joystick forward, backwards, left or right. Press the red controller button to select a new maze for the games you just completed, or use the features offered in some games. To begin play, use the game select switch. Yes, we know all this. Gameplay. You're a cop confronting danger and suspense as you and your opponent wind your way across the city blocks. The first player to reach the exit on the right side of the maze wins the game. Throughout the game you may encounter armed robbers, blockades and other obstacles to prohibit you from finishing your beat. You'll hear the footsteps of cops, as well as the sound effects when someone bumps into a dead end, or the special sound effects when someone exits from a maze. You'll also experience the unique sound that occurs when a robber captures a cop. It's supposed to be the other way around, surely? Anyway, so there's different speed settings on this one. So medium, fast, slow, or calculatingly slow. We have visibility modes as well. So visibility mode 1 shows all of the maze. Visibility mode 2 hides a portion of the maze, so you have to figure out where the walls and passageways are yourself. Visibility mode 3, a significant part of the maze is invisible. And in true Atari 2600 tradition, mode 4 makes the entire maze invisible. When a cop exits any of the invisible mazes, the maze appears on the screen. To select a game number, speed and visibility, press the game select switch. Yeah, okay. Alright, here's the different variations. In capture mode, you must capture 3 robbers before you win the game. To do this, move your cop toward the robber and make contact. During games that feature capture, colour-coded bars appear for each player at the top of the screen. Each time you capture a robber, the appropriate bar disappears. Depending on the game you're playing, 2, 3 or 5 robbers appear on the right side of the screen. They will be lurking around corners waiting for you. If they touch you, you are automatically knocked out of the game and lose. Jesus. Wounds, you're paralysed after robbers touch you. Only after a few moments will you regain strength. Terror, your cop cannot exit the maze until your opponent is knocked out of the maze by robbers. Okay, so that's the one that you have to play in 2-player. And blockade, confuse your opponent by leaving a blockade resembling a dead end in the maze. You can go through it, of course, but blockades can be useful strategy. So that one you can basically put fake walls in. Automatic peek. During invisible mazes or blackouts, the computer flashes the complete maze on screen every few seconds. Or player peek. A player can peek at the complete maze by pressing the red controller button. Or scouts. During invisible mazes, your cop has a partner or scout who moves ahead of him. The scout randomly leads the way, but you're free to ignore his suggestions. Okay, so at its core, this is a game about randomly generated mazes. And that's it, basically. There's just a few twists on the formula as you go through. So there we are, that flashing colour you saw there, that was the 2600 generating the maze. And so we can see our cop over on the left hand side there, and the exit is over on the right. So all we have to do is try and make our way over there. Which wasn't too difficult at all. So, that was Speed 1 Auto Peak Visibility. So if we switch to the next game mode, this is Speed 1 Auto Peak Visibility 2. So now part of the maze is invisible. So again, it generates a new one, but we can't see this bit in the middle here. So you have to figure out where you're going to go by touch and by the fact that it flashes on screen very briefly every few seconds. Oh, that's the dead end. So this actually makes it surprisingly difficult. Let's go back this. Oh no, that's also a dead end. What about this way? Around here. I used to really enjoy mazes and puzzle books when I was a kid. So this game very much appeals to me. Visibility 3, right, so a huge chunk of the maze is hidden this time. And it's not appearing on screen for very long at a time either, so you really have to sort of take in what you can. So definitely not that way. Maybe down here. Yeah, there's a definite appeal to this, and I can see these modes with the invisible mazes actually being a lot of fun with two people. Oh, that's annoying. Where's the exit? Oh, it's down at the bottom. I thought the exit was always in the top right for some reason, but no, it is not. I've made an error. There we go. All done. Right, and then a completely invisible maze, because Atari 2600 games of this era always had to have a completely invisible maze. So the exit is down in the bottom right corner. That way's not going to help us. Let's try going over here. And then round here. Looks promising. Maybe. Maybe not. It's on the screen for such a short amount of time. You really have to kind of burn that into your memory as much as you possibly can. Yeah, that was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. Alright, Speed 1, 2 rubbers, player peak, visibility 1. So this one, I believe the robbers will kill you. Let's find out, I guess. But they're not very bright, so you can oh no! You can outwit them fairly easily. But once you've been hit by a robber, you can't move anymore. So you've just lost. You're out of the game. You are dead. So let's skip over that one for the minute. 3 robbers, that's going to be the same. Speed 1, auto peak, capture. Right, this one you have to capture the robbers of the specified colours before you're allowed to exit the maze. So we need to chase him down. Right, so I've caught the green one. The green one stays on screen though, you notice. He doesn't disappear. It's just a block at the top of the screen that indicates that you've captured him that disappears. Again, I can see that being quite fun in 2 players. So let's try that with a partially invisible maze. Okay, so where do we go from here? There's the red one. This is a really enjoyable little concept, actually, and it's a woefully simple game in many ways. But it's fun. Like I say, I always used to enjoy doing mazes in puzzle books, and having a game cartridge that was basically an endless supply of mazes would have been really appealing to me as a kid. Alright, let's try visibility 3. Again, capturing the robbers. Those two there, it was easy enough. Need to find out. Blue has captured one just by virtue of the fact that he ran into him. Okay, so once both players have captured a robber of a particular colour, it does disappear from the maze. But it does mean you can't screw the other player over by capturing the robber before them. Which is good, because that's fair. You know, being fair is good. This is really tricky with these invisible mazes. No, not that way. Just need the green one. Where's the green one going? And how do I get there? Gotcha. Right, now I can wind my way over to the far side, however that works. It's not going to be through here. I think this is it. That is a dead end. Blue has now caught all of the 3 robbers by them running into him. Good job, Blue. Nothing like being completely passive. Right, that's the wrong way. That is also the wrong way. Over here. Nope. Down here. There we go. Yeah, this game would perhaps be better if it had like a timer function. So like if you were playing it single player, you can count how long it took you to get through the maze and sort of challenge yourself to solve them more quickly and so on. So those are the capture modes. This is the wounds mode. So that means if you get hit by a robber, you stop briefly, I think. And then you can start again after a moment. Yeah, okay, so I can't move in the minute. Okay, once you've been wounded, you gradually get back up to full speed, so you have to sort of crawl your way through the maze. Until you can get back up to your full speed. Now the only trouble with this mode, I guess, is that it's quite difficult to avoid the robbers because all the passageways are just 1 square wide. It's very tricky to avoid them without sort of running into a dead end, and it's a little bit luck based, so not ideal. Alright, speed 1, player peak visibility 1. Okay, so this is player peak mode, so that means we can do an invisible maze. But anytime we want to look, we just press the fire button and it appears for a moment. So you don't have to wait for the timer this time around. Although there does seem to be a brief cooldown between when you can do it. But what this does mean, if you think you have a better memory than your opponent, then you can just quickly burn the maze into your memory and then go through the whole thing without revealing the maze at all, which could be potentially fun times. Okay, so this is scout mode. In this mode, there's just some other things moving around the maze independently. They don't hurt you or anything. They're just showing you where the different routes are. I stand corrected. I stand corrected. That's clearly a robber, which killed me. Okay, let's try that again. Scouts, visibility 1. Oh, that's interesting. Right. Okay. So the way this works, you press the fire button, and that shoots out a scout who goes and looks down all the passageways near you. And so you can use that to figure out which way you might want to go from there. So there you can see that there's only one way you can go because the scout isn't taking any alternative routes at all. But if we go from, say, here, we can see that's a dead end there. We can see that we can obviously go this way. But not really many other places we can go from there. Oh, that's a really interesting way of doing it. Yeah, that's pleasantly mind-bending. I approve of this. That's cool. I like that mode. Speed 1, player pick, capture, blockade, visibility 1. Okay, so that mode there, that's really one that's designed for 2 players. Because you can put the fake walls down for your opponent. Let's just see how that works. I mean, obviously we can't play it properly because the other player isn't moving around. But in theory, if you just press the fire button, there you go, you drop a wall in the maze. So it looks like a dead end, but you can actually just walk straight through it. I assume you can only drop one of those at a time. Yeah. So if you drop that blockade, then the last one you drop disappears. And you can also see the enemies going through it as well. So if you know what to look for, it's pretty obviously fake, but there you have it. That would be fun in 2-player. Speed 1, 2 robbers, visibility 1. How is that different? I guess that's just a slower version. Speed 1, 2 robbers, terror, visibility 1. Yeah, lots of different combinations of things here. Up to 16 altogether. Speed 1, no features, visibility 1. So if you just want a maze with no faffing around or robbers or peeking or invisibility or anything like that, you can just play game 16. And that just gives you an endless supply of mazes to find your way out from. Okay, I think we've... Oh, yeah, and you can play that in invisible mode if you want to as well. So Speed 1, no features, visibility 4 is a completely invisible maze that you have no means of revealing. So you have to find your way through using nothing but touch. Oh god, that's nightmarishly difficult, isn't it? If I can actually complete this, I'll be impressed with myself, but I'm not sure it's going to happen. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm getting close to the right edge. That doesn't really mean anything, obviously, because it might be a fairly roundabout route we need to take to get to the exit. Oh. You have to deal with that horrible, distinctive sound of a player reaching a dead end. All the while that you're attempting to figure your way out of this fine mess you've got yourself into. Oh, that's annoying. That feels so close. That really does feel so close, but not close enough. Right, so we can't go around there. I'm kind of determined to solve this now. Just because it seems like it should be impossible, but... Well, almost back to the start. This is what my life is now. Invisible mazes. Oh, I can't visualize it. I feel like when we ended up over here, that was by far the most promising progress that we'd had, but just don't seem to be able to get far enough over to the right. Oh, hello. I think this is new. So close to the edge. But nowhere to go. I've done it! I've done it! I am a master of Maze Craze. I think that's more than enough of that for now. Anyway, that's fun. Good fun. Even if you're just by yourself like I am today. But grab a friend, and I can see that being a lot of fun, actually. Especially with the fact that the mazes are all randomly generated. That's really cool, especially for the age of this game. Anyway, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again next time.